Why hello there, I'm Professor Joel and welcome to another episode of Planet Scooby Reviews. This week we are covering Scooby-Doo's Night with the Frozen Fright, which originally aired on September 26, 1970, and it is episode number 3 of season 2 of this Scooby-Doo Where Are You show. So this episode features the gang encountering a caveman frozen in time. He's in this giant block of ice, kind of creepy. They find him in the ocean. And they return him to Oceanland, which is a take on SeaWorld. And there at Oceanland, they study cavemen, I guess, frozen in ice and marine biology and all that other stuff. So they take him there and somehow the caveman gets thawed out and he starts stealing or kidnapping some of the scientists at Oceanland. It's a very cool episode. And what makes it extra cool is that this is the first episode where the phrase Meddling Kids is used. So I would say this episode is historic. If you'd like to own it, as always, you can buy it on the DVD set of Scooby-Doo Where Are You? This is also available on Blu-ray. I will leave links below. Enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get to it. The episode opens up during a wild storm at sea where a boat is transporting a caveman found in a block of ice. The heavy waves get the best of the boat and knocks the caveman out to sea. Back on the beach during the day, the gang are kicking it up during an intimate beach party. Freddy and Daphne are dancing while Velma looks on. Shaggy and Scooby are off fishing on the beach, and while they've had no luck pulling in any fish, Shaggy manages to reel in the frozen caveman. Velma remembers reading about the lost 2-million-year-old caveman in the newspaper.
Wow, it's a caveman frozen in ice. Scientists found this 2-million-year-old caveman in the Arctic.
Am I glad he's frozen in there and that we're out here?
She knows that the researchers were planning on bringing it to the Oceanland Aquarium. So the gang load up the Mystery Machine with the Frozen Fright and haul it off to the local aquarium. At the aquarium, Professor Wayne and Professor Engstrom are very appreciative to have gotten their specimen back before he thawed out in the ocean. Professor Wayne shoves the caveman in the Arctic room freezer while Professor Engstrom daydreams out loud about how he just loved to bring this caveman back to life. This kind of creeps out the gang, so they dash off. We then cut to the Arctic freezer room where a mysterious hand turns on a space heater that begins melting the caveman's ice. At the malt shop, Shaggy realizes that he forgot his fishing rod at Oceanland, so the gang head back to the aquarium to retrieve it. There they find the freezer door has been ripped off its hinges. Inside the freezer room, they find Professor Wayne's winter coat torn up and the phone lines are cut. Even worse, the caveman that was kept chilled inside, well, it has been thawed out completely and the caveman is now missing. The gang follow the caveman's giant footprints to a nearby dock where they find Professor Engstrom using a strange machine. It appears that he's talking to a porpoise. Sneaking up to get a better look, Scooby frightens Professor Engstrom into a nearby bait shack. When Freddy attempts to enter the shack, they discover an angry caveman. The angry caveman chases the gang throughout Oceanland until they escape. At this point, Velma finds a map showing the currents of Oceanland. On the map is also an X, so Freddy volunteers Shaggy, Scooby, and Velma to hop onto a rowboat and check out what is at X. At the X location, Shaggy, Velma, and Scooby find a fishing boat. Boarding the boat, they get locked inside a room and nearly get killed by an ice machine spitting out ice. After escaping, they find their rowboat wrecked, so they paddle back to shore on top of an ice block. Freddy plans his trap, and they eventually catch the caveman with the help of a giant clam. The entire trap takes place during a fun little song called 7 Days a Week, and the chase scene is really fun to watch. The song's fun as well, but it is a blatant ripoff of the Beatles' 8 Days a Week. Upon catching the caveman, it turns out that it is Professor Wayne.
It's Professor Wayne!
The professor had heard about the loss of the Arctic caveman and made his own caveman using the ice machine in the fishing boat, and his intent was to let it drift down to Oceanland. There his plan was to thaw out the caveman and pretend that it had come to life and killed Professor Engstrom. At this point, he would claim that he escaped from the caveman and steal Professor Engstrom's marine life communication machine as his own to make millions.
And it would have been mine if it hadn't been for those meddling kids.
You won't have to worry about meddling kids anymore.
Since Professor Wayne staged a fake caveman, I guess this means that somewhere out there, there's still a frozen caveman floating around in the Pacific Ocean. I give this episode a 7 out of 10. I know this could be someone's favorite episode. For me, I just found it kind of average. The nighttime aquarium setting is fun, don't get me wrong, and the caveman looks cool. It's just that the caveman doesn't have much in terms of personality. All he can really do is growl and act brutish. He does look creepy though, and he is memorable. I do remember this episode as a kid, probably because of my fascination with Caveman at the time. As an adult though, I just found this episode to be fun, but again, like I said, average. However, average Scooby-Doo is still fantastic watching, and I look forward to watching this one again. If you enjoyed this episode, thank you for hitting like and subscribe. If you haven't already, feel free to. If you don't want to, don't worry about it either. It just helps me find new viewers or helps people find me who are interested in just Scooby-Doo episode reviews. If you'd like to request an episode review, leave a comment below. I'm only doing Scooby-Doo episodes at the moment, and my turnaround is probably about 5 weeks from when you request because I do get quite a few episode requests. Until next time, stay spooky.